I discovered Katseye because I saw Lara Raj and I was like, wow, this is the most gorgeous woman on planet Earth to ever exist. But you need to think about it, ki what is gaze? What is normal for you is not normal for another person. Fans who can have anonymity when they like comment bad things on them and their posts, people really need to be kind because that's not a good look to have to talk to a 20-year-old girl like that. It's policing, honestly. It's policing at its worst. They're always going to be a safe space for kids growing up now, which is amazing. Like, I wish we had a cat when we were growing up.
You gotta wonder, will I disagree or concur? Because it's deep dive time! Let's go. Mike's on, hot takes ahead, big bombs, bigger brain threads. Press play. Are you all aboard? Welcome to the track record. Let's have some fun now.
Hello. Hi, Rae. Would you like to introduce
Hi,
yourself
guys.
to me?
What? Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Go ahead. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Ray. I am a writer and I've also worked as a assistant director. And yeah, I just watch a lot of films and I document people in and around Delhi. So that's what's up. Mhm.
Reiki is one of my favorite juniors from my college, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we
Thank
are
you.
talking about Katseye, of course,
That
because we are stans. We're stans like that.
100%.
So I just get directly into it. I want to
Go for it.
establish for my listeners who Katseye is as a group in 2025. So, for someone who
Mhm.
has only seen clips from Gnarly or their Lollapalooza set, what would you want them to know about Cat's Eye as a group? Are they
Mhm.
like best? Are they best understood as a K-pop act, a Western pop experiment, so to speak, or something more global altogether? What's their, artistic vision like?
I think they would have definitely started as a K-pop group, which they did, of course, है ना? But it is definitely very global, and I think that's a very knowingly that they have taken that angle because ek to the diversity, right? There's so much diversity. When have we ever seen like a Tamil baddie pop star? When have we ever seen a mixed, European like Manon is mixed and like Daniela is Latina, so it's just crazy like that, and that is definitely big on their global appeal. So I think, or I also think Dream Academy could have gone very wrong because it is a reality TV show and people could have just not taken it seriously and been like, you know, it's just something that old people like watching, yeah, young people for the drama aspect of it. But that is not what has gone, like, that's not what's gone down. Whoever the creative director and their whole team like needs to party every night because whatever they're doing it 100% correct. I think they just crossed like 6 million followers, which is just crazy. Matlab, I think it might have been the most global group after BTS. And number one, though, definitely it's the most global group with respect to like the diversity. So yeah, definitely that. Mhm.
Absolutely. And the fact that their latest album, we'll talk about it later, has been so
Hmm.
experimental. Like it's not an
Yeah,
album, it's an EP, but it has something
EP,
for
yeah,
everyone. It's
100%.
it has everything for everyone. And
Mhm.
just the fact that how they interact with their fans, not just, when they meet them in person, but
Mhm.
also how they create all the, I love their reels. I know we don't watch
Mhm.
TikTok here, but I
100%. Yeah.
love their reels. It's just so whack. And you can tell, if not them, at least someone in their team is definitely chronically online. I think even
100%. Yeah.
Sophia is. I mean, Sophia
Yeah.
is. You can see
Huh.
her liking things here and there.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the concept itself. I'll also
Mhm.
talk about Dream Academy later, but I want to
Mhm.
first ask you, how did you discover them? Was it through the reality show, the
Yeah.
debut Dream Academy, or was it through
Mhm.
their singles, or was it just the buzz online because that's how K-pop stands work? What moment,
Mhm.
I mean,
So
made you
yeah.
realize that they're worth following closely?
So it's actually kind of a funny story, and I don't have any qualms in admitting it now. But I discovered Katseye because I saw Lara Raj and I was like, wow, this is the most gorgeous woman on planet Earth to ever exist. And she is just drop dead gorgeous. So this was a little before Dream Academy came.
Hmm.
ठीक है? And then I was like, oh my God, who is that goddess and why is she on Earth? And then my sister was a big K-pop girly, and I used to like make fun of her. I was like, haha, funny, when I was like 15.
Oh
But
God.
now we are 22 and here we are. So yeah. So yeah, so I saw her and I was like, oh my God. And then when I got to know that Acha Katseye is a group and they are going to have a whole Netflix based series, I was like, okay, I have to watch and it's not hate watch. And Lara comes in like episode 3, I think, because she gets scouted. She does not apply. And for 2 episodes, I was just patiently waiting, when is the third episode going to come? But yeah, that's how I discovered it. And I feel like it started from Lara, but they're such a fun bunch of people. Like they have such amazing personalities, such good like camaraderie. Matlab, it's very fun to watch. They're all like great people. And with respect to the reels, I think the reels are such an amazing way to market because when they did not have an EP and they just had like touch, so they would just make reels on touch, which is amazing. And yes, definitely someone is chronically online because when people say something about them and if it gets like traction, then they make a reel about it. Just say
Absolutely. Yeah,
Lara
yeah.
ka yes and something. Well, it's very funny. It's very cute. Like I think it's like a 10 on 10 way to market yourself. And I think they're going to just like become bigger and bigger. I don't think abhi 6 hai to I think it's going to be like 10 and then 15 and 20 very soon. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cro-
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I
Yeah.
absolutely love Megan's, Candace challenge because so how she
Yeah.
does is that
Yeah.
the song would play very slowly and she just
Hmm.
jerks the movements, then it runs in 3x and then it's just a Candace.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah.
love the science behind it. I love the fact
Mhm.
that she took that up. She also looks like Candace, so to speak, because she had ginger hair before this.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Really.
Now it's her thing, and I absolutely wait
Mhm.
for it always. I mean, I love the fact that they are so diverse, but also it's not just who they are, but how they utilize the power they have, not just in terms of the way they speak about things. I mean, Lara came out as queer person. You have Megan who came
Yeah.
out as a bisexual woman, which is a big thing, not just
Also,
because for
Megan
the
is so funny. Like she just comes up. She's like cirrhosis bhi hai. She's like, I'm also dyslexic, by the way. I can't read. Like Megan is very funny. I think she's the funniest of them all. She's just a very funny person. Yeah.
that I absolutely love her.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
the kind of space they hold with our generation is crazy. And the way they
Mhm.
even utilize that energy, because especially with the Gap ad recently, oh my God, I don't
Yeah.
think I'll be
That
over
was
it
crazy. Yeah.
anytime soon. I mean,
100%.
Perks took the Gap team for the timing, of
Yeah.
course.
Mhm.
But I'm just happy that all the partnerships they have, it's very
Mm.
intentional. It never feels like, oh, they're just selling products. When it came to Gap, of course, it's dancing
Mm.
jeans. When it came to
Yeah.
Monster High, it was their own, history with the dolls
Mm.
themselves.
Yeah.
Hori, hori, like a bag of Takis. And then
And then they collaborated with Takis. Yeah.
Taki absolutely love that. So, as he said,
Mhm.
Megan is funny. It's funny, but I still believe
Mm.
every member brings something distinct to the group. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
what do you think holds them together? Is it just that, oh, they are becoming a group, or that will make them famous and perhaps they will disband later? I feel
Mm.
so, but I would love to have other eyes telling me. Is it perhaps
Mhm.
just the energy, vulnerability, or the aesthetic that they share
Mhm.
together that makes them cat's eye?
I think that's a great question, firstly, though, because because we only see the PR version of it. We see like these 6 people very much in love with each other. They're always hanging out. They're always either on Weverse, talking to their fans. I don't know if we have viewers in India, but like I know that they go live on Weverse a lot, and then we like see reels. So yeah, but it can't just be fame, I feel. Of course, this comes from 2 people who are only seeing a PR narrative. Ki, oh, these people love each other. And even if they do disband, say, 5, 6 years later, yeah, even 2, 3 years later, I think it would have done them all a lot of good. Something like BTS. BTS, of course, did not disband, but they had to go to the military and now they're back. So, they're like everything's still very good. If Cat's Eye does disband, I think it will be quite the heartbreak of like younger people. Like I think what a lot of people my age and your age felt with like One Direction. I was a whole thing when they broke up. I think the girlies and the little boys of today will feel that with Cat's Eye because I think they're the most visible pop culture icons. I already call them icons because I feel they are icons. But they're there. So yeah, but what holds them together? I think it also must have something to do with the shared experience that they have. You can't go outside Pop Academy, Dream Academy, and then talk about it. People won't be able to relate. Only these six people have that shared experience and are in the group, and only they understand what they're doing on a day-to-day basis with respect to rehearsals, marketing, campaigns. So it must be like a sisterhood in that as well. I feel. I think that has to be strong there, and yeah, a lot of people also have tried to like create wedges, right? Like they were like, oh, inki banti nahi, unki banti nahi. But I don't think that's true because even at Lola, they did clarify that. And I don't feel like they need to clarify that. I feel doing that is very gossipy. Ki, oh, these six people, let's try to incite some drama. But as long as they come on top of things, I think always ki, the sisterhood is there. I feel personally. So yeah.
I mean, firstly, I'm so happy that you know a lot of K-pop terms now. Disbandment, weavers.
Yeah,
Oh my
real.
god.
Shout out
But
to my sister. So yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so true. I mean, there's one thing that could be just PR, but I think even with that, it's very difficult to show sisterhood if there's no sisterhood. I mean, we
Yeah.
had Fifth Harmony. There were the models over which they started
Yeah. And the
Katseye. So,
breakup was very public and very
yeah.
crazy. Mhm.
I feel like, of course, there's the Dream Academy part of it, but also the fact that I remember watching it and the producers being like, no, we don't want six soloists. We want
Mhm.
six people who want to make this one group.
Yeah.
And I don't think it translates really well because that's not just how they are being marketed as the next big global thing, but
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
what is felt by their fans as well. Even if you're not fans, even if you're in the general public, so to speak, when you see them performing, you lose
Mhm.
your mind because
Yeah.
the performances are.
Crazy energy. I saw people saying that they were maybe the best performance at Lola this time. Well, they set a record, of course, but like a lot of people feel that they were also the best performance that happened. Yeah.
I mean, how many other artists are going ahead singing and then also doing one hand cartwheels and some
Ah,
song?
100%. Yeah. And
That's
also bringing like 80,000 people
85
on an
last I
afternoon
checked.
is
Yeah.
crazy. So
In
yeah.
in an afternoon.
Yeah. I would not even step out of my house if it's the afternoon and 80,000 people were just there. So it's crazy. So
I
yeah.
mean, we would do it for Cats, I think. We would do it
Ah,
for
real,
Lara.
real, yeah.
Feel like it's not just with K-pop, but generally this industry as a whole, they look for an ingenue. But at the same time, it feels like, oh, we are preying on younger kids, so to speak.
Mm,
But also at the same time, it makes sense. Like teach them young so that they can understand this industry and they're
mm,
not quote unquote wasting their time here and there.
mm,
So I think
Not just K-pop, but also
seen that happening with say Britney Spears. We had even Taylor Swift, for that matter
mm,
of fact,
mm,
started very early.
mm. Yeah.
So training in the debut show was
Mm,
highly, highly influenced by K-pop itself, the training and everything.
mm.
Even they're
Yeah.
singing in English and targeting Western markets. So do you
Mm,
see this duality as an identity to be very empowering, or do you think
mm,
it's just confusing the audience? Because I see so many conversations where people are like, no, they are K-pop, no, they're not K-pop. It's not
mm,
the point, so to speak, but still,
mm.
what's your opinion on that?
I feel ki it's definitely like a identity. It's like ठीक है, they got trained in the let's say the K-pop ways and they have that K-pop work ethic, which is crazy work ethic. But if they are singing in English, then of course the idea is to like reach more of a global audience, which I feel that they have been so successful in doing. The biggest thing here is just representation. We did not grow up seeing any Indian person on that bigger level that Lara Raj is with respect to pop culture. And people who are growing up now, like kids in India, can see her. Latin kids can see Daniela. There's everything, but definitely if they're singing in English, which they should according to me, because that's the global appeal. And I feel कि a group जिसकी identity इतनी diverse है, they definitely deserve that global appeal. So I wouldn't say it's confusing. I think like a little bit of a reading, या फिर if you even if you want to hate watch Dream Academy, you do that, you'll understand कि, okay, it was a reality show. Maybe not the best made reality show because it was just a reality show, and reality shows are often, over the top, which I feel Dream Academy was as well. But the end product, that global pop, girl group is there. And I think that is their identity. So there's definitely duality. I really hope that does not confuse people with the whole process because okay, they were trained in the again the K-pop ways, but they're a little more than that. I would say they're a lot more than just a K-pop group, and calling them just that kind of like gives them a small niche and generalizes them when there's so much more. In fact,
Exactly.
I would also like to add the people who get trained as idols, they're usually very secretive, they can't share a lot about their personal lives and all. But these people, on the other hand, they're just crazy. Like they are always online. It's pretty apparently, Danny has a boyfriend. Like those things you would not get from a traditional K-pop idol. But these people are just like online and they're like homely. So yeah, I think it's way more than just K-pop at this point.
That is true. And that is not to say that K-pop is not a whole lot in its own sense. It's
Yeah.
just that there is that kind of distinction at this point. And I do
Yeah.
feel that the conversations, especially, it's not a conversation, so to speak. It's always a thread on Twitter or perhaps like comments. But
Mm.
hey, that is K-pop. How on earth are they doing that? As if like that is okay of a reason to restrict them as people, which is not a
Mm.
good thing for K-pop idols too, of course.
Yeah.
But in this case, there's such different cultural notion in its own sense because all six
Yeah.
of them come from very different cultures, and that kind
100%.
of shows as well.
Mm.
It's so funny to see Yoonjae just dissociate when all of the other five are doing something batshit
Um,
crazy, and then
I
they're like,
it is very funny. That is yeah.
God. When we're talking about the Dream Academy, let's just get back to it,
Mm.
especially because it was a reality TV show. The way it was edited kind of framed Manon as less committed while others were working
Definitely.
tirelessly. And I did a little bit of research on that, and I found out even Manon was, scouted. She didn't apply for it. That too because she had a great Instagram presence. It
Yeah.
wasn't for her talent, so to speak. And then
Mhm.
she came out and then she learned everything from the scratch.
Mhm.
So framing her as lazy was like it sat very off with me. And it's true, like a lot of times she was not there with the other girls.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we would never know what was happening behind the scenes. So
Mhm.
do you think that this initial portrayal still shapes how fans read her today? And how fair do you think
Mhm.
it's to carry that narrative forward?
So I would firstly to answer the second part, I would say it's not fair to carry that narrative forward because Dream Academy was also like I think 2 years ago now. I think Katseye has been a group for a long time. I hope.
Yeah.
Think I'm right. But yes, definitely there was that narrative, and it was very strongly shown me because it was shown ki like the girls used to stay together in LA, but Manon did not stay with them. And I also remember ki Manon was also a little, insecure is not the right word, but for the lack of a better word, just let's just use that. She used to talk to the dance instructors and the singing instructors. Ki the other girls are so far ahead, and she's just there. But you also have to see ki a lot of them were already dancing, were already singing, and Manon was new. And then the whole discourse, ki Manon does not come up on time, and then she has to have an intervention with everyone. I feel definitely that does carry forward because all my friends who also listen to Cat's Eye, they don't rate Manon that highly. Like they rate her maybe at the lowest, which is fair, but that is just their perspective. And this narrative that was on like Dream Academy does not help. Yeah. And yeah, I we don't really know what's up. We don't know how committed she is. I think matlab, she's part of the group, so she must be very committed. But yeah, showing that narrative was not that helpful for her case. Maybe it was great for the show, but not for her case. And some people also think that she just got in because she had a big social media following. And that was one of the latter stages. में task ki, okay, people are going to vote. And because Manon was the most famous one at that time in the house, of course she got through. But I also just feel ki if that was just the case, then maybe she would not be part of the group now
True.
because those people work really hard and I don't think they'll be willing to carry someone who's like a burden or dead weight. So she must be working very hard right
That is
now, is my opinion. So yeah.
so true. I've seen their like rehearsal BTS, and oh my
Yeah.
god, those girls work crazy
Crazy. Yeah.
hard. I
Crazy
remember
hard.
their Mama performance rehearsal. I mean, Mana
Mhm.
got sick even then. She
Yeah.
had COVID, and people have the gall to say, "Oh, she's lazy. She didn't want to perform there. That's why she acted sick."
Incels. Incels. Incels.
She
Yeah.
was COVID. What? wanted her to do. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. This specifically does get me to my next question. You said, right, that okay, maybe that was good for the show, but not specifically for her case. But I do think there's, a little, okay, this is conspiracy theory time on my part, but I do
Okay.
think the team with the girls, they are definitely working that out, because I remember the whole Adela and Manon thingy just
Yeah, yeah.
broke the internet, so to speak, at least the K-pop internet, because everyone was picking sides. No, Adela is saying the right things, even though Lara and Sophia were also saying these things. But
Yeah.
it was just Adela that they focused on. But then there were a lot of people out there who were like, no, oh, it's just a white superiority complex. Such, oh my God, nitty gritties. But I do
Mhm.
think that has carried forward to such a degree now that people try to paint Manon as victim as well. I mean, her
Mhm.
absence from the Gabriella video, the Monster High collaboration, and live stages has sparked intense speculation in terms of
Mhm.
fans being like, oh, treat Manon better. You're not letting her be the part in the first place. What do you
Mhm.
expect? Fans even wonder if she's going to leave the group, even though we
Mhm.
don't think so. There are a lot of other people who do think that. And looking back, do you think it's just poor communication from the label, or is it a sign of how PR tries to control narrative in this industry? Because I
Mhm.
personally do believe it's their team, the PR team, just
Mhm.
working this entire thing out and just flaming the fans to a certain degree.
Mhm. Might be because we also know that Katsye's PR is very strong. Like it is crazy strong. Like they're always on top of everything. Like going back to one of the things we talked about earlier, if the fans say something, just say Makne Eats first, fans started saying, so they made reels on that. Lara ka yes, and people make reels on that. So it might just be that to keep some, masala alive. They just do that for sure. I wouldn't be surprised because I think we don't live in an age where PR is stupid. I think PR is like super sharp and always on their toes. So if that is happening, they might actually be instigating it behind the scenes just to like stay more relevant. And in the longer term, it does not really matter, right? Because they are not going to actually remove Manon just because some people on the internet say so. But if it helps Cat's Eye stay more relevant, which honestly they don't need to because they're always going to be relevant. But if it does help them get relevant, the PR might be doing that. Yeah.
It gets me to the next part of the interview as well, because
Hmm.
I'm having a very hard time settling my feelings about how they're portrayed as people. And going back to the PR conversation of it
Yeah.
all, I am not sure how I see the sexualization of these girls,
Hmm.
specifically because I know these girls have a lot of say in what they want to do, what they want to wear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people want them to be proved in terms of like, you have such great talent, that means you should not be showing your bodies. At the same time, being like, no, women should have empowerment over their own bodies. And
Hmm.
conversation just goes whack on both the sides. So
Yeah.
especially with songs like Nali, Katseye did step into more mature and sensual territory.
Yeah.
Some see that as empowering, others worry that the industry is over sexualizing them, like we have
Mhm.
seen since time immemorial.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who, as a fan, think that Katseye is genuinely like, do you think, say, because I do believe so, but I want to know your opinion on that. But
Mhm.
not just in terms of their clothes, but their overall image. Or do you think it's still filtered through the brutal expectations of the industry and whatever their team is saying?
Okay, so पहली बात तो that's a great question, a great segue. I do feel कि over sexualization is just gaze and appropriate clothes is very subjective and it just varies country to country. Like Yunche is 17, she's the only one who's still a minor, but I also see that they are very protective of her. I don't feel that they're being over sexualized in the slightest because again, over if there is that conversation, then I feel that conversation is also very firstly male gazy. It's just about gaze. And it's also very patriarchal. And it has like I think a tint of misogyny here and there, even if the people who are saying it aren't aware. But you need to think about it. Ki what is gaze? What is normal for you is not normal for another person. India is a big country. What is normal in Delhi is not normal in Chennai. What is normal in Chennai is not normal in Assam. We are talking a global band. We are talking countries here. So something that's maybe appropriate in Brazil will be deemed inappropriate in France, but that does not mean it's the artist's job to wear things appropriately, right? In quotes, because I don't feel they're being sexualized at all, and I feel that they're just doing themselves. And I also think that they have a lot of say. Their team seems very nice, very kind, very protective of them. The choreographers seem very cute and girly pop coded. So did their singing instructors. I do feel that if that conversation does come to like, oh, are they being sexualized? That does come from just a place of gaze, and then like you have to inwardly ask yourself, what is gaze? Because it's not Katseye responsibility to wear things appropriately, so to speak, because there is no appropriate, there is no objectively appropriate thing. And with respect to their identities, I really hope that they have a lot of space, more than people have been given, say, in the traditional K-pop idol sense. But I also feel just to top up on that, I also feel again, we know that Danny has a boyfriend, she has a partner, and that is way more than people 10 years ago used to tell in the K-pop world, right? Like you weren't supposed to publicly acknowledge that you have a partner, even if you did.
They still
But just the
don't.
fact that, like, yeah, they still don't. And just the fact that, like, she's what? She's younger than us, right? She's like 20 and 19, and she has that. That's great autonomy to have. And also, like, they are active on their own personal Instagrams as well. Lara still puts covers, she's still DJing. The biggest thing, coming out as a queer idol, when did that ever happen? That was not something that's very common, right? So I really hope they do have that autonomy about their identity, and they're not being crushed with like so-called expectations that people might have from them. But yeah, that's what I feel.
Why I specifically have the said hard time is because I feel very protective of them, not in terms of what they wear. Of course, I love their
Mhm.
outfits. If I could,
Mhm.
if it was safe enough in Delhi, for example,
Yeah,
I would love to wear outdoors clothes. But
really.
different conversation. But when I say I feel very protective of them, it's because people are very fast to make that their identity and not
Mhm.
their art itself. While I feel like that entire it's a full image, right? Their clothes,
Yeah,
it's part and parcel of the art
of the
itself.
image, yeah.
It's
Mhm.
their expression and how they feel about their music as well. So
Mhm.
that's where I feel protective that the conversation is shifting far right. But at the same time,
Mhm.
as you said, it's not their responsibility. They are
Yeah,
just being themselves as
yeah,
artists. And I totally feel like, yeah, the team is very protective of them because, again, going back to, their injuries, of course, they do get injured a lot given how much
Mhm.
they work, which is
yeah,
scary in its own sense.
yeah. We're very scary, yeah.
But they still do prioritize their health. They let
100%.
members rest during injuries rather than pushing them. Yet at the same time, decisions like these are often, met with backlash. So, to you, what does that say about the double standards we as fans have for, our idols? Because yes, we want them well rested. Yes, we want them safe and protected. But the
Yeah.
moment they take the break, do that,
Mhm.
then you have wars like these that,
Yeah.
oh, why is Manon waiting? Oh, she's so lazy.
100%. Yeah.
That's so horrible.
Pehli baat, for real, jokes apart, that is also a great question. Like, these are very good questions. And they're also, I think, part of a larger conversation. Like, here, the larger conversation for me personally becomes like parasocial relationships. I am here talking about cats, how much I like them, but I don't have a parasocial relationship with them in the sense that I acknowledge that they're younger than us. Thing number one, we are 22 and 23. They're younger than us. Most of them are younger than us, and we have to give them so much leeway with respect to the clothes conversation as well. They're human. You need to be very kind to them because they're just a person. Very young people, they're at that age we are all easily influenced per se. I'm sure they are easily influenced as well. So I think as fans who can have anonymity when they like comment bad things on them and their posts, people really need to be kind because that's not a good look to have, to talk to a 20-year-old girl like that. Thing number two, with respect to injuries, it's the same thing. They are people, they will get burnt out, they will get tired. Even if they want to just go on a break because of their mental health, I feel like people need to be so accommodating of that because they're not machines, right? I know that there's this whole conversation why a lot of big artists, just Beatles, Billie Eilish, they also sometimes, like Beatles stopped touring. because they were just like, we don't feel our art is seen here because people don't perceive them as people. They're putting them on a pedestal, and the same conversation applies for Katseye. They're people. Abhi, they did an amazing performance at Lola in front of 80,000 people. But what if tomorrow they don't want to? We need to give them that space. Ki, okay, look after yourself. We love you. Go do you. And till the time that does not happen and people are just like in a big parasocial relationship with them, I feel ki there will always be such a big double standard. And I don't feel then a fan who has that double standard is actually a fan. I don't think they really care about their well-being if they are upset with them if they take a break because they need that space to take a break. In fact, I personally would be all in for if even if they take like a big break. As if that's what they want, then that's what they want, and it's cool.
As
Yeah,
long as they're safe and they continue making the
yeah,
kind of music they do, because
yeah,
that's what we are here for.
yeah.
Talking
For
about
sure.
talking about backlash specifically,
Mm,
not just the fans, but the way they have kind of faced backlash from the general public also. Specifically
mm.
talking about Lara, because earlier this
Yeah,
year, Lara came out as a queer person, and
yeah.
yet during Cat's Eye's Lola performance, she was accused of
Mm,
queer baiting. Like, firstly, how
mm.
can a queer person queer bait?
Queer bait in the first place. Yeah,
But also,
yeah,
I don't understand what queer baiting is in the first place. It's not just, oh, two people are kissing, you think they're not queer, so that's queer baiting.
yeah.
That's not how it works.
It's policing, honestly. It's policing at its worst. So yeah.
And she responded by asking, if one is queer, how can they even be baiting if they are queer? And
Yeah.
Lara also faces kind of layers of racism above that, because it's not
100%.
just
Yeah,
xenophobia, but like as a brown woman who is so adamant of
yeah.
like holding her culture so dear to herself, then you have people just falsely calling ice on her despite being American.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think that
That
can
is to just ignorance and like straight up racism only, of course. Yeah.
absolutely, and like it kind of reflects on the kind of people we have become as a society as a
Yeah.
whole. When it comes to having that, oh, we feel so empowered that, oh, there's a queer out there, there's a brown woman who is just representing us. It's not a backlash for her performance or the way she works. It's backlash for who she is
Backlash
as a
on, yeah,
person.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Horrible things.
100%. I think there's also like there's such opposite spectrums here. Ki if there are people who matlab, I am advocating for, let them be, let them have a break. Then there's also the complete opposite. Not even in a fan sense, just in a hater sense, to be polite with the word. They're just like racist and it's a global girl group, right? Like, and Lara is a brown person, and she is one of one right now. Like, I know her sister is also a pop star, but Cat's like a global level pe Lara is one of one right now, and it just sucks. Matlab, people are just always going to be very racist and very bad towards her. But she's also getting a lot of love right now, which I'm very happy about. And I feel like it's also from a lot of brown people. I like, there was this one post that a woman had recently put up how seeing Lara's Gap ad in Chennai really empowers her and her daughter, which is amazing, which is exactly how it should be. And maybe fame ka part and parcel is just like dealing with a lot of racists. Of course, if she was, fair skinned and blonde, then that racism would anyways dip. But I feel like we just need to stand up for her more because she is a
Absolutely.
representative, and I feel she's an amazing representative of Indianness and brown people. So I feel like everyone just needs to be kinder and maybe stand up for her more. With respect to the queer baiting, exactly. How can a person be queer baiting when they're queer? And even if she was not openly queer, if that was up for speculation, because you don't always have to say, I'm queer, you can just be queer. That's completely okay. Who the fuck is someone else to come and say that is queer baiting? The same thing happened in Heartstopper, right? With one of the leads, people were like, oh, that's a straight person. And then they had to forcefully come out as queer. So if we are at a place, is that what society has come to? Who is a random person on the internet to police someone that they know nothing about? So honestly, just calm down and be a better person. Like, educate yourself more and also have decency. This is not how you talk to people. So
Yeah.
yeah,
If you were
just
to,
let them be themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone would talk like that in person to anyone
100%. If the
ever.
people जो internet पे भी comment कर रहे हैं, if Lara Raj comes in front of them, they would be like, OMG, such a big fan, can I take a photo? But behind like the screens and like an anonymity के कारण, they're just like haters. Don't be a hater. Yeah,
And you talked about colorism, different segue
mm,
altogether. I didn't plan on
yeah,
talking about this, but specifically in K-pop, again going back to
yeah,
the conversation because that's where they started. You also
yeah.
have another Indian idol who is a K-pop idol now. Her name is Arya. She is an XIN. I forgot the name of the group itself.
I remember reading about this as well. They were the first, yeah,
They were not the
Indian Idol,
first,
no?
but like she's one of the biggest ones who is like
Okay,
out there
mm,
recognized as a person.
got it.
But it is said that she had to go through skin bleaching. And the kind of foundation she has to wear, it's very way lighter than her own skin color as well. So like having seen that as an experience, even Blackpink girls, they had to go through skin bleaching. It's not just
Mm,
like, oh, Indians, because they are going into a different industry, so
yeah,
they have to work with those standards. Even Korean people have to work with those standards that are
mm,
completely impossible. And those
mm,
standards are not just Korean. You do see them here in India. You do see them
yeah, yeah,
specifically in America as well. So
100%, yeah,
having Lara's identity the way she has it,
mm,
being an American born person who has that
yeah,
Indian and Sri Lankan descent,
mm,
all four places that she is like affected by her identity, where she's affected by, all four places do see colorism as a big problem. And
100%, yeah.
I've seen such weird conversations where people are like, oh, Manon is a half black person, but even she's fairer than, say, Lara. What is this conversation to be
What
had?
is why does that even matter? What does that even like? Yeah, what is the point here? Yeah,
So it's
very
just
weird.
it's
Very
very
weird.
weird. And I'm so happy that Lara like exists in her skin without being
Yeah. And
apologetic
also
about it.
she's given that freedom to like speak about everything. Like, coming out as square was such a big thing that she's in. So, on the other side of the coin, it's also double discrimination now, right? But she still has that space to come out and live out her truth, right? So yeah, yeah,
The intersectionality of it all, and with
100%.
the
Yeah,
kind of grace she handles everything is amazing. Like
yeah.
I don't think anybody else on this planet Earth can be her. Absolutely.
And again, like she's what? She's like 19 or she's 20. So that is crazy. Like I don't think people understand that. How crazy it is to be that poised at 19 or 20. That is just insane level of calmness. Yeah.
I was crying about accountancy homework when I was 20. So
Mm. Yeah, really.
and then there are these girls at 20,
Yeah.
19, even 22, but still, like, the point
Mm.
is they have been doing this for 2 years. They were in training
Yeah.
for more
Mm.
than that, and the grace they have, oh my god,
Mm.
which I think also shows in their music. Let's just get down to it, I guess. The
Yeah.
beautiful messy chaos that was their
Mm.
EP, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think the first question that I absolutely have to ask, and I've been asking from everyone else, what was your
Yeah.
first reaction to Gnarly?
Gnarly, yeah, yeah, yeah. So my first reaction to Gnarly was like, okay, okay. Like I feel like a lot of people were confused, why is it so aggressive? Why is it like making beats for a boring dumb bitch? And apparently they don't like sing like that in K-pop. So because I am not someone who has a lot of K-pop exposure, my only question was like the change of aesthetic from touch to like gnarly. But I think what this is a collective shared experience of like I feel everyone who listened to the song, by the third time you listen to it, you're like,
I'm
let's
the
go. Wow,
shit.
banger.
I'm the shit.
It was it was very interesting. I feel ki Nardli is such a nice space for them to be at. Like, and it's a very Lara song way, I feel. That is my
Yes.
opinion. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it articulately, but I just feel like it goes with Lara's actual aesthetic in life, which is like a
That is
baddie
true.
aesthetic. Yeah. Mm.
And in general, I think the chaos of it does reflect nicely on the group as such, because I that's who they are. They're messy and it's
Yeah.
fun. To this day, every
Do you
15
think
minutes, I'm like, I'm the
this is also
shit.
something to do with their EP ka naam?
Definitely, definitely. I think my first thought when they announced the EP name, I was like, oh, the songs are going to be messy. That's why. That's the reason they
Hmm.
have the name. Perhaps all songs are
Yeah.
gonna be
Even
like,
Gabriella ki music video is very messy. Their fighting is crazy
yeah.
like that.
No, my first reaction was perhaps because Gnarly is so messy. That's why they're like beautiful chaos. All songs are gonna be
Hmm.
like Gnarly. And then I was
Hmm.
concerned. I'm like,
Yeah.
for it being a social experiment in its own sense is fine. Oh, that gets them the
Yeah.
eyeballs that they need right
Hmm.
now and the kind of platform they got because of it.
Yeah.
But if all five songs were like that, then we would be in a difficult situation because
Yeah.
then at the end of what makes Cat's Eye, other than the fact that they're messy, is their talent.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
crazy, crazy six vocalists who are
Hmm.
great dancers. So I
Hmm.
was scared at that, but then they released Gabriella, and I'm like, I'm back.
Yeah.
We're all back, and now we're also obsessed with Gnarly
Real. Yeah.
somehow.
Like it's a very good mix of songs.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
EP, like it's like everything Game Boy se leke MIA to Gabriel is a very good mix of songs for sure. Yeah.
absolutely. But I think Gnarly, in its own sense, the only reaction anyone and everyone can give to it is that kombucha meme, the person who was like drinking kombucha.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
only pop song that like I remembered in one listen. I'm like, boba tea, gnarly,
Yeah.
Testa, gnarly.
Gnarly. Crazy. It makes sense. Yeah.
One week I was just singing that song, but gnarly,
Mhm.
let's get down to it.
Yeah.
When you first listened to Beautiful Chaos from front to end, what stood out to you the most? Was it the range of sound, the lyrical storytelling, or the group's chemistry, or anything else for you?
Just the versatility, I would say. Because Game Boy, Gabriella, MIA, Gnarly, very, very, very different songs. Very different songs. I personally not gonna lie, matlab, I'm not someone who's going to focus very much on the lyrics. And even if I want to focus on the lyrics, then I have like other bands in place. Katseye is not my number one woe. And I'm sure for many people it is because the lyrics are very good. But for me, my personal anecdote is just that it was just the versatility. Even with the music videos, like I am not the biggest fan of the Gabriella music video, but when they talk about their vision and they talk about, it's supposed to be like a telenovela. Now, growing up in India, we did not have telenovelas. I
Yeah,
don't have that experience. But for someone who has that experience of watching that, I'm sure the music video resonates a lot and means a lot.
yeah,
And I think they were just able to do everything perfectly. Game Boy, I feel, is like their older songs, like Touch Ke Bad, if I have to put something, it'll be like Game Boy. Same
yeah.
aesthetic, same, very cute, very catchy, very cute chord. But yeah, the versatility, the sheer versatility, crazy, crazy, big time.
Absolutely. I was
Yeah.
scared because I am used to being a very album person. Like I listen
Mm.
to all the projects front to back so that I know what's the story going here. And I was confused for a moment, but at the same time, because one, they named it Beautiful Chaos, and I kind of still get it. And I can
Mm.
appreciate a project like that still because even if it's them trying to find their footing, makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, then they also come up with a song like Mean Girls. I was,
Mm.
I lost it.
And
And
there was also drama on that, ki God bless the mean girls. Is it like about Adela? Which is so stupid. Like, why would it be about Adela? Like, what do you mean? It's a song. So, very
and
crazy. Yeah.
the song is way beyond that, specifically because
Yeah.
of the kind of conversation that it started otherwise, also. Because the whole
Mm.
story behind it is that, oh, the lyrics specifically, God bless the
Mm.
T girls and all the in between girls.
Mhm.
And it made it one of the more rare mainstream pop songs to explicitly affirm, trans women. The
Yeah,
lyricist,
100%. And
the
if I'm not wrong, a lot of singers turned the song down as well, right? It
yeah,
was not
yeah.
originally a Katseye song. Yeah.
No, not at all. The lyricist revealed that other artists turned down the song because
Yeah.
they wanted this specific lyric changed, and they said,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not going to change it. If you want this song, you have to have it with this entire lyric." And Cats, I kept it. So,
Yeah.
what does this decision tell you about who they are as artists and how they want to connect with real experiences? And why do you think
100%.
it hits such a nerve with fans?
100%. I think the fact that they have kept a song that is inclusive, which is always, I think, going to be part of their identity, which is of diversity. They are the new inclusive global girl group. Period. No questions. Like who we don't see a lot of people who are very inclusive nowadays, right? अगर आप पुराने वाले pop stars भी ले लो तो उनमें तो even less. But Katseye is here. And them not to take names, but I can think of like two, three names that this anecdote with the lyricist telling ki people turn the song down. They turned it down. But Katseye was there. They sung it and now it's out in the world. So I think they're always going to be a safe space, so to speak. And just to like look at so many different ethnicities and personalities and identities all over the spectrum, they're always going to be a safe space for kids growing up now, which is amazing. Like I wish we had a cat sab when we were growing up. We did not. I don't
Absolutely.
think we had anything close to be cat sab. Like we had nothing like that. And which is crazy in now, like little kids, tweens can look at them and like look up to them because great role models. Great role models.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in the kind of political environment we are in,
Yeah.
it's crazy that they took that decision 2 years
Yeah.
into their career.
Mhm.
It is brave, no matter how much we say, oh, don't celebrate the celebrities for doing the bare minimum. But I
Mhm.
think for the position they have as girls,
Mhm.
and the kind of it's very tricky for them, obviously, not just
Mhm.
because of their identities, but also for the fact that a lot of them are immigrants, so to speak. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
Yunche is not from America, she is South
Yeah.
Korean. So at
Mhm.
any given point in time, anything can happen to them with the
Mhm.
kind of environment they
Yeah.
have. So it is brave. And as you said, great role models to have.
Mhm. Yeah.
As
For
we are,
sure.
so to speak, older than them, but we are
Yeah.
stands. We are
Mhm. For sure.
stands.
100%. Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
do think they do resonate with people like that.
Yeah.
Hope
Mhm.
this never changes, touch wood. Because I have also seen a lot of artists who grow up with this kind of, zeal that, oh, they're going to change the world. They're going to be very
Mhm.
ethical about things. They're going to be very, idealistic about things. But the practicality of this industry do hit you really
Yeah.
hard. You have
Mhm.
to massage egos and
Mhm.
talk to people like that. So that
Yeah.
hope that never changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really.
but getting back to Gabriella, you were talking about the telenovela feels of it. I
Mhm.
mean, it's
Mhm.
theatrical, it's dramatic. While Game Boy, as you were saying, is very playful and nostalgic, not
Yeah.
just in terms of the vibes of it themselves, but also back to the touch era.
Yeah.
So, what do you think that this contrast is so, you know, pertinent in this EP and still makes sense? Again, I don't have good words to explain it, but what are your thoughts about it from your own perspective, especially given the fact that you work with images so much and
Yeah.
imagery and storytelling and all that stuff? Does it reflect the chaos in the best sense, or is it just them testing their identities or even ideas and just throwing what sticks to the wall kind of situation?
I think it is very beautiful for the lack of a better word. But even if they are testing their identity, it's still such a beautiful process. And I feel ki abhi they have, even if they like have just like stuck everything to the wall, like thrown it and everything has stuck, I don't think they're the kind of artist who would like keep themselves limited to what has worked for them right now. So the next time maybe we hear them, the next album or the EP that they drop, it will have another different genre, you know?
Yeah.
Because if Danny is Latina and telenovelas were there, then maybe Sophia is like from the Philippines. So something for her roots as well. And not just based on ethnicities, but I just feel ki for sure, the EP is 100% showing how versatile they are. And testing out their identity is such a nice process. And it's also relatable in the sense because when you're a young adult, you don't really know कि आपको करना क्या life में. You don't know. And that's
True.
fine. And if a girl group is also just doing multiple things, and not only at the start, maybe throughout their career, just keep on experimenting. I think that's amazing. Matlab, let them, is what I say. I think let them do what feels right. And I think it will turn out pretty good. One, because they're extremely talented, and secondly, because they have amazing marketing. So regardless or not, just who's to say ki when we first heard Nardly and the marketing, because it was just reels, Nardly, 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 Nardly. Who's to say ki that did not seep into our mind? Ki, "Haan, Nardly, we accept now. We love Nardly." So yeah, I think amazing marketing secondary, but they're just that talented ki I would want them to experiment more if they want the same, and I think they'll do great. So yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with their performance skills also. Gnarly
Yeah,
sold
100%.
because they did the performance at the K-pop music show. It
And do you
was
know ki the meme ki you know ki these girls are always in survival mode with respect to performing because they come from a reality TV show. Like they're always giving it a, like they're always giving it their all. Matlab they never stop. Crazy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I can't stop thinking about a Bollywood experience with Katseye now. Now that we talk about it, if we can
Yeah.
have a telenovela experience with uh, Gabriella,
I
I
think
genuinely
massively would
can't.
sell.
It will go
Massively would.
crazy.
Anyways, I feel like a lot of brown people just got to know about Lara from the Gap ad and the campaign. They'll be so good in a Bollywood sequence thingy. Like it'll be very good for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't stop thinking. If you had to choose one song from this EP that you believe will define Katseye in the long run, which would it be for you and why?
Mm, okay. So the first thing that comes into my head is that I hope a song or a genre does not define them. But I will go by favorites. So I will go ki Nardli is I think the one I like more because Nardli is pretty badass. Like the Nardli ke baad I like Game Boy a lot, but Game Boy is very cutesy song. It's a very cute song. Ki, yeah. But Nardli is aggressive. Nardli is the shit. Quite literally. Now as I speak that I see the irony. But yeah, I would hope ki no genre defines them. But if it is one, then I hope it's towards the Nardli line. Ki I hope they're always like badasses like that. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
was hoping it to be on the Gabriella side of it all, just
Ah,
because it's so theater kid coded.
yeah, crazy.
Also,
Preferences, Wala.
yeah, also it
Yeah.
shows the voices a lot, and I absolutely love that song because of that
Mhm.
fact.
Yeah.
The moment Lara comes into my ears, I'm like,
Yeah. Even the performance at Lola was crazy. Matlab, the Gabriella performance, like every performance was crazy, but like crazy. Matlab,
with the
those 80,000
skirts,
people are very lucky. Yeah, the skirts, the change in when they're changing into the skirts and their dancers like covering them crazy. Like the cartwheels, crazy.
loved it.
Like, yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy.
Absolutely loved
Yeah.
it. I mean, I do think all of it does build their cultural presence specifically. Like, it's not
Mhm.
just the fact that, oh, multiple songs together, it's just trying to cater to all kinds of audience, and that's it. I think the undertone of it all, as we have been discussing so profusely in this episode, has been the cultural influences of it all. And I do believe it's a great strategy, so to speak, to actually tap into that and then tap into all those markets because then
Mhm.
it feels very authentic.
Yeah.
So I do hope that they become the leaders of a new type of global pop.
Yeah.
I do hope that all the cultures in the group do reflect on the music in future. They become the global superstars that they are destined to be in my eyes. But coming to the end of this conversation, if you had the chance to talk to them, all six of them, what would you like them to know from a fan, from a podcast they might never hear, but
Uh,
still?
real. I would just say ki be yourself and be happy and like full support, full stand. And like I feel like for me, supporting any band. So personal anecdote, I like hers are dead. I like Beatles, two of them are dead. So to support a band, a girl group, or any group for that matter that's still alive and kicking is amazing. Is a personal victory for me. But yeah, just like be themselves and like yeah, full support. Like I feel they have full autonomy over whatever they want to do, and we are just people who like them. Just need to appreciate them and like just support them. That's it. Yeah,
Only
yeah,
hearts for Katseye in this household. Can you make a
100%.
heart
Yeah,
so that I can put that in my thumbnail? We loved.
hey, heart.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Ray.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.